We are here with James Lowe and Nephi Johnson. I am Weston Wardrop. James and Nephi are the co-founders of MentorMatch AI, and today we want to discuss how MentorMatch AI is revolutionizing mentorship programs throughout the United States. So, Nephi, maybe if you can start us out here and talk a little bit about your background and how we got started with MentorMatch AI.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Weston. Kind of tough to tell my story without bringing in mentorship. I'm actually a first generation college student, as is on my wife's side as well. I went into it actually without a mentor, and on the opposite side of what we're aiming to provide everyone. Didn't really have a mentor, knew I liked math. I was a construction worker, so said, hey, civil engineering is probably the best for me, which absolutely loved it. I still consider myself a civil engineer at heart. However, it wasn't until my master's year, when I was doing my master's, that I finally started to really have mentorship and guidance. And that's where, based on the goals that I had and what interested me, found out that it was probably best to switch career paths and switch over to computer science, electrical engineering, be more on the research and kind of cutting edge side of things, which was great advice for me. That's what led me to go to University of Michigan to get a master's and PhD in computer science. However, once I did go to Michigan, I learned from my lessons and realized I better start talking to people early, which wasn't always an easy thing to do. Even at a big institution like Michigan, wasn't the easiest to just say, hey, mentor, will you talk about this or talk about that? So kind of pushed, eventually was able to find out what I really wanted to do. That was going into management consulting. Had a number of mentors and practicing consultants and folks that helped me with the interview process, helped me with the case studies, and really land my dream job. And took me to McKinsey & Company, where I was able to use the computer science that I had dove really deep into, as well as business and helping these companies grow and drive change, and ended up doing quite a bit of analytics. At the time was big data, then it was analytics. Now we call it AI, but was able to do quite a bit of advanced technology and a lot of digital work at McKinsey. But making money for other people isn't always the most exciting thing. It was more motivating when we're able to help governments or help individuals make a difference. And that's really why I started looking for one idea where I could give back while still being on the cutting edge. And that's James and I started talking about the idea. So that's kind of a synopsis, but why I was excited about mentorship. James, I think, has had the idea going a little bit before me, and that kind of kicked off the conversation.
Terrific. Well, I'm James Lowe. I've been mentoring undergraduate students since about 2004. I've personally experienced higher education at every level, from community college at Pierce College in Woodland Hills, California, to USC, to Harvard Business School, and then law school at the University of San Diego. What I realized along the way was that I have been incredibly lucky to have truly exceptional mentors at every stage of my collegiate life and beyond that. And I can say without hesitation, kind of like you, mentors change lives for the better. What I did start to notice early on was something I found to be really surprising, which was from elite prep schools to the world's most prestigious universities, institutions with enormous budgets and resources didn't matter. The demand for mentors has always far outpaced the supply, and the universities want to help. It's full of wonderful people who are dedicated to students, but structurally, they've never been able to meet that demand. And the result is students and young professionals just don't get the help that they need, and they're often left navigating some of the most important decisions of their early life alone, choosing majors, careers, relationships, and paths that really shape the future without real guidance. When that's avoidable, life-altering mistakes can happen, and we're here to fix that. MentorMatch exists because for the first time now, the technology allows us to solve this at scale, not just by giving people a mentor, but by giving them the right mentor that's thoughtfully matched at the moment that it matters most. And so that's what we're doing.
For someone like me, a student that is looking for mentorship, how do we do this at scale for these universities?
Yeah, good question. I could jump in and James, if you want to add to it or cover a different angle. I think there's two main things. One piece is making it easy for every stakeholder. So making it easy for the student, making it easy for the mentor, making it easy for the program coordinator or administrator. So our tool really does an amazing job at this. Students, you're probably writing different resumes for different classes or different internships or filling out your LinkedIn. Rather than make you redo yet another one and do it in a form that we want you to do it in, we're able to intake that in whatever form it already is. So you can upload a resume or email a resume to the coordinator. You can give us a LinkedIn link and we translate that. We use AI to translate that to know the important pieces about you and what you're looking for, what type of mentor you need. On the mentor side, same thing. We actually go and find their LinkedIn and know about them to know if they're a good mentor or not. Very minimal effort, because the more important part is the time that they're giving to the students. And then for the program administrator, making this tool as kind of their right-hand man, their sidekick, that makes him or her 1,000 times more productive, being simplifying workflow. So that thing one is making it super easy for everyone. I think the second piece is actually the recruiting or the outreach side of it, that many other tools that are out there, once there's a mentor that's in the system and a student that's in the system, they can make a match. What's different about ours is being able to use AI to go and find those mentors, find those alumni that could be potential matches, and then making a personalized outreach to them. So for me, I think that's how we scale it, make it super easy for everyone that's using it, number one. And then number two, where the tool is the one that goes out and finds the folks that can solve the supply demand aspect.
I think that's exactly right. The only other thing I would add, Weston, is as a student from your side, what becomes the most useful part is being open and honest and transparent. And whether the resume is perfectly executed or not, just getting your resume or CV down onto a piece of paper, answering the supplemental questions so that we really know who you are, what your background is, what you're looking for, if you know, and what your hopes are for the future. And from there, we can take it. From the student side, the more you can be honest with us, the more information you feed it, the better the match will be. And that part's really exciting because you're not just getting a mentor with some experience, you're getting a mentor with experience that is incredibly valuable to you individually.
If I don't have a resume that I feel is ready to be sent to a job interview, I just use what I have and the AI looks at that. Is there any format that I have to put it in for the AI to read it?
No, any format will be fine for the AI to read it. And if it's not formatted correctly, the part of the mentorship process is by the end of it, it will be formatted correctly. The mentors help you with that. What I would share is, even if you're a young person who's 18, you're a freshman, or 19 as a sophomore, if you don't have a very big resume, or you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what your hopes are for the future, and you're still in search of a vision, that's okay too. Just be honest about that part, and we'll find the right mentor to help guide you through that process. So it doesn't matter if you have a lot of information and you know exactly what you want to do with your life and you're super involved, or you're just getting started and you're in search of a vision. Whatever it is, we will find the perfect mentor for you.
Yeah, there's plenty of times where you've got to make the correct narrative and kind of upsell yourself for a job application or a university application, but this is an instance where you don't need to do that. In fact, the more honest about, I just lack vision, or I need help with interview, whatever you really need and whatever you really have on your resume will be the most impactful for you. No reason to fluff it up or try to make up anything, because that lets us know that we'll be able to find the mentors that are really, really good at giving that type of guidance. Or we'll be able to know if someone already is in their master's program and already knows exactly the type of jobs they want. Well, we can be very specific about finding them a mentor for exactly what they need. But if you're not there, that no reason to make that up. I think a super important point with all of this is streamlining that conversation starting, because the real magic happens when students are able to talk to mentors. So the easier we make that, the faster we make that, the more scalable we make that, the more people that are going to talk. And that's really, the AI can't replace that conversation. Technology can't replace that conversation. You need to talk to humans, and we make sure those human interactions are taking place.
So I want to go back to something that you said earlier, how if the university doesn't have the mentors available, that you do a LinkedIn scrape. So then does that mean as a student that I have to reach out to this person through LinkedIn? Because I've reached out to people on LinkedIn before and gotten no response. And so I'm wondering what that looks like. Does that fall in my hands as a student? Does that fall in the admin's hands? How do we bring those alumni back to mentor?
Yeah, good question. Because you're right. A cold LinkedIn message from a student may fall on deaf ears, unfortunately, sometimes. But what we're able to do is, once we have your information, the program admin, to your question, do you have to do any outreach or how much work do you have to do? The student just needs to get that information, send the resume, or upload the resume on the app. As James mentioned before, there's supplemental information that's optional. Obviously, the more you add, the better. But that's all you have to do. And then it goes to the tool and the admin side of things. We're able to connect to alumni database, or if the university chooses not to, connect directly to LinkedIn and other publicly available information. And the workflow downstream from that is what's automated and what lets the outreach be bigger. So we'll find who's the best match. The admin will be able to approve that. The system will send an email that says, hey, we found someone that's from the same hometown as you, or looking into the same major, or has something that makes it somewhat personal. It says, hey, do you want to participate? They can click yes, no. If they click yes, the university needs to do a quick verification and make sure that they have what they need. But then only after the mentor says, yes, I want to mentor student A or student B, whomever it is, only after that, the connection's made. So the student doesn't have to worry about a cold call or a mentor that might give them the cold shoulder. We realize on the outreach side, not every mentor is going to say yes, but that highlights the beauty of the AI. The first one says no, the AI can quickly go to the second one. And there's a lot of alumni out there. So if at the second or third or fourth shot, they say yes, that's going to happen in an instant, and you're going to have the person connected to a mentor. And a lot, the work's not on the student at all.
What if they don't say yes or no and there's just no response?
You can customize the exact waiting periods, but we've got the workflow built in, the agent tech, as the industry calls it, but the agents that will monitor if the email's been opened or not. If it hasn't been opened, can ping them 2 or 3 times, or can decide, hey, we only want to ping them once. And then after they've pinged that amount of times, then yeah, it'll move on to the next person. So we have our recommendations based on the research we made, but you can customize what the AI agent will do to move on to the next person.
What inspired you the most to start MentorMatch AI? And what was it that drove you to get to this point to actually having a product ready for universities?
It's a great question. I've been mentoring students since 2004, and I keep seeing the same things over and over again, which are undergraduate students or young professionals tend to make the same mistakes over and over again. I'll give you an example. Most people that go through undergrad, whether they're a first-time college student or not, incorrectly assume, oh, I don't need to worry about grad school. That's not for me. That's how most graduate students went through undergrad, with no thought whatsoever to the potential for grad school later. Or they hear an idea. Now it's very popular. I hear coding's really important. I hear AI is really important. I don't know what that means, but I feel like I should know. Some of these industries and your interests are so large that you really could use a navigator, a professional, someone with experience and expertise to show you different pathways along different routes to see what inspires you, what scares you, what meets your needs or not. When I realized so many people were having the same issues over and over again, and I was helping USC build their mentorship program, and my daughter is at a private prep school, and they had an interest in mentorship, I realized a lot of these institutions that have so many resources, so money's not the problem. It's they don't know how to scale economically without it just blowing their budgets out of proportion. So they can't do that. And they want to help, but they can't. So universities basically pick their favorite students and they give them a smooth way forward. And now we can do it for everyone. The technology exists with AI. If you have that sweet spot of expertise and experiences that we do from the mentor side, from the mentee side, from the university side, and now from the technological side, we can now provide this at scale and go and reach out to mentors who haven't volunteered yet, but are super open to helping students. We can now do that, and we want to. So now mentees, students, and young professionals, so it applies to alumni as well. If you want a mentor, you can have one, and we'll find you a really good one.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you on behalf of every student across America, because I think this is something that's really, really needed, especially at the times that we have right now where it's really hard to come out of college with a job. And I know that having a mentor really helps that. And so I just want to say thank you.
We're excited. No student is ever turned away anymore. This is great.
No student turned away. I love it. Well, thank you, James and Nephi, for coming on. Do you guys have any last comments that you want to share before we close things out?
I'd say anyone that's interested, whether you're a student or whether you're an admin or whether you're a mentor, we're happy to have the conversation because this is only to help folks out. It'll shortcut folks get into their dream job and make sure they end up places that they're happy. Let us know.
I hope this comes to my university. I'm at Utah Valley University, so if there's an admin there listening to this, then give Nephi or James a call, or me. That works as well.
Terrific. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.